Welcome all to the snap of springtime in the Badger State, where today's match is brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. It's always a right and ready welcome here in Madison, Wisconsin, where one of the League One's greatest galleries of sound and color throws its doors open this evening. Bree Stevens Field awaits, as do its flocking faithful, as Forward Madison sees league action at home for the first time in the 2025 campaign, with Texoma FC in town suiting the role of spoiler. Howdy folks, I'm Peyton Gallagher. This is the USL League One, and we are excited to bring it to you. And for Forward Madison, they have been excited to bring teams into deep water in their home venue down the last turn of the calendar. Hardly anybody has had success in this particular arena as Forward Madison have controlled games with the ball and done things exactly like that, scoring goals for fun, as they were able to secure the home playoff game a year ago against Spokane Velocity, in large part because of their good home form and in large part because of this man, their captain, Mitch Osmond, who missed the first couple games this year. The league's leader in passes a season past is back. 60 minutes against Charlotte Independence for him in the run-out a week ago, and in certain track to potentially take on a larger role today. Very clean on the ball as always in that game, totaling 42 of his 43 passes against Independence as complete. As for Texoma FC, it's been a rough and rocky start to life in League One for them as they venture across Red River for this game. The key factor might just be how they hold their nerve in the second half. 8 goals conceded, the most in League One through 4 games so far. And the key note is they've made the fewest subs of anybody, in large part because they just haven't had bodies. They're getting reinforcements now. We will take a look at some of those key players here in a moment, but only 11 substitutions for them throughout the course of their first 4 games, and that goes to illustrate the point that there haven't been a lot of options for Adrian Forbes to turn to in the form of injuries and other absences that have plagued Texoma at their start to life. And here are some of those key absentees the last couple games. Diego Pepe, the star tabbed 9, not available today, but luckily for Texoma, they get Maciek Botnichuk as well as Dane Domic into the lineup today to try and reinforce things for Adrian Forbes. Those players will start on the bench, and we will see what kind of impact they might make in the latter stages. We set to step aside in this spring sunshine here in Wisconsin. Forward Madison and Texoma FC is on the marquee. Texoma looking for their first victory in big-time fashion in USL League One play. They'll try and play upsetter today against Forward Madison. Folks, don't go anywhere.
It's an S.
Fernando.
My name is John Murphy.
Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre.
I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin.
Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
The sides take the field for Forward Madison and Texoma FC here in the USL League One. And for Matt Glazer, the lineup goes like this, brought to you by Madison Concourse Hotel. And this is the starting 11. It will project as a 4-4-2, but certainly could shuffle into something of a 3-4-3 throughout the course of the game. Flexibility is all that the Mingos are really concerned with in terms of their tactical setup. Macias and Carrera Garcia in the pivot, and of course Bernd Shipman back in goal after missing the start of the season with injury. As for Adrian Forbes, it will be Preston Kilwine tasked with trying to shut down this Madison attack at the back. 50 appearances for him down the last couple of years with South Georgia Tormenta. Ajmir Spengler will run the creative department for Texoma in between the lines, coming off a match against Spokane that saw him score his first goal with the club. Madison in that new home strip on their home ground for the first time in league play. An action in motion here in Wisconsin. Again, Peyton Gallagher here to take you through the 90. Texoma trying to find that going in cup defeat against FC Tulsa. Started the year with that loss at Naples. Madison did before securing a point late against Charlotte Independence. Matt Glazer was optimistic about the direction the team has taken and moreover the response they've had to some of these early season follies. Felt like the group has really bounced back well and done all the right professional things to continue with some momentum in this early part of the season. And they've won themselves a set piece straight away. Texoma really have been hit hard from corners at times this year. FC Naples were able to get two past them in an earlier game. They've conceded 3 set-piece goals for the year. Madison queuing with an early opportunity inside the first 90 seconds. Within swing to the near post, it's jabbed away. Second ball is swept up. You want to soak in the atmosphere today. Sunshine is still out. Folks are in good spirits at one of the most lively venues, not only in just the USL League One, but really American soccer. Madison have been toward the top of the division in possession every year that Matt Glazer has been at the helm. At the core of their belief system is possession, and not just for having the ball, but also for what it can do defensively. Simple theory there is that if you have possession, the other team doesn't, and they can't score. Nico Brown. Down the line, Texoma intent to press early. And showing off some coordination to win the ball, but it was JP Jordan that went in too strongly. A player that Adrian Forbes has been thrilled about in the early part of the season for Texoma. Here's the replay, and just a little bit too much extension there with the arm. I think the foul may have actually come before the winning of the ball. That shove off. Center official today is Drew Klemp. Marcus Barnett, Jared Kuhl run the lines. Ryan Shanklin has the board as the fourth official. First decision for them today. Bertie Sosa. And pushing wide. And now into the box. Galindrez was in hot pursuit. Showed an interest. McCready did as well. Chavez. Madison quickly in the face of their opponent, trying to win the ball back high, and do. Macias. And thrust to Sosa. Winding by Perkins. Guerrero Garcia. Macias with space, roaming room. A line splitting pass wide. Nico Brown. Nico Brown on approach. Stepped out. It's another corner kick, the second of the match for Madison. Canopy Wealth Management is donating $50 to Forward Madison's mini pitch fundraising project for each home corner taken by Forward Madison FC. And the players are doing a good job of bankrolling that program early on. Their second corner within the first 5 minutes is taken short. It's a routine. It's well met inside the box, not all the way done away with though, and play is stopped for a handball. Texoma distinguishably building out of a back three. Chavez. And it slides away in mid-park. Madison quick to trigger. Sosa. Of course, for Forward Madison, excited to bring back Burn Shipman, who has the ball at feet now. A well-distinguished goalkeeper in this division. Certainly strong as oak last year between the pipes for Madison. We already told you about Mitch Osmond. The downside, though, a couple players unavailable. Eddie Manjoma, as well as Garrett McLaughlin, Devin Boyce, all not in the 18. Certainly you would imagine would be lined to be key contributors this year. Texoma on the trot. And it's punched back by Forward Madison, who have asserted some degree of certainness on the ball throughout the game. They fail to do so here, though. Laminjane onto his left. Beaten back for the time being. The Sky Blues taken in tow. Gebhardt. Madison swashbuckling forward. A pirouette. An applying pass into the area. Taken down, settled, fired, beaten away by McCready. The second man runner arriving in style, only to be foiled by McCready. Thundered in once more, and this time it towers tall over the frame of goal. That was a special stop by Mason McCready, who has, throughout the early part of this campaign, despite having his goal bombarded at times, really acquitted himself well. He does so here. Juan Glindras, a settling touch, and right into the path of Nazim Bartman, who did not hesitate to strike. Valentine, a little bit loose with the pass down the line, but works out all the same. It's a throw. Let's get back to Shipman. Funneled into Sosa. Much of the play early on has come his way. Not a touch for a throw. USL is on CBS Sports Network, and it continues in April. Hot starting San Antonio FC take on reigning USL Championship title holder Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, April 23rd at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. It'll be a good one. Those teams have clashed more than once in postseason action down the years for the USL Championship right to proceed. Settled by Valentine. JP Jordan and Valentine again. John has popped a tire and won the whistle. Nico Brown, the one who committed the foul. On the half turn, tidy work on the ball. Shuttled into Jonah, who lines Nico Brown. Taking aim! And Ajmer Spangler, coming off a match in which he scored against Spokane Velocity, had the blood pumping early, just spun it wide. He is the point of quality in this attack for Texoma, and clearly given license to fancy himself a chance. He has hit one or two long-range efforts into the back of the net down the years. Most recent to this, playing for South Georgia Tormenta. Texoma tilting now to the wide side. Valentine. That's good work by Spangler. Spread wide, shuffling in on the left, it's blocked. Still rambling through the wreck inside the 18. Served in by Jonah. And swept up at the back. Looked like it was Timmy Mail who stepped in for the cover. Texoma on the front foot. Trying to cash in a good spell of possessional play. We're seeing Reed Valentine playing a little bit deeper in that first phase of build-up. Far-sided fullback giving a little bit more of a chance to advance. J.P. Jordan. Valentine. A probing pass in behind. The flag is down for now. Spengler. Jone. This is great work on the ball right now for Texoma. It wiggles away. Shipman striding to come out and meet it. And arrives in time, and in time enough, in fact, to maybe take a knock. Will Perkins was the one who was bounding in. Shipman, who had just returned into the lineup today from injury, is the one who absorbed the contact as he raced out to reach it. Goalkeepers so intent on the ball in those moments. It's hard to remember to protect oneself. It does appear that Shipman is all right to continue. Osmond. Clean and confident, as always, from Jacob Krul. Madison have been snake bitten a couple times this year in errors in this area of the park, trying to move out from their own goal. Osmond will do a lot to shore that up. An overlapping run, a nice counter movement from Gebhardt. Sosa and Gebhardt on the same page. Jacob Krul. Texoma moving in unison defensively. Now Nico Brown. Brown, it took a bounce. A bracing touch off it looked like the head of Juan Galindres. Nico Brown carved the angle for himself. Felt that space to his right-hand shoulder. That ball looked like it was on line for the frame. Galindres, an obstacle necessary for Texoma. Quarter hour in. It's been a lively back and forth. Forward Madison had a good spell on the ball to start the game. Texoma punching right back, marching into the attacking half for an extended period. In the early your turn, my turn, Madison in possession. Jone goes in. Unable to pinch it away from the Mingos. Lofted over the top and with too much carriage. Possessional split right down the middle right now. About 50 for either side. Play allowed to continue. Incidental contact apparently. Spengler. A swivel of the hips. And a swipe wide. Valentine. Texoma winning all the second balls, early stages. Good indications for Adrian Forbes. He will be happy with how his team is coming out of the gate. Scoping in toward the opposite side, and Jone is unable to track it down. This is a very young Texoma group trying to find themselves. As recently as last week, they played 6 U23 players in the starting 11 against Spokane. Average age of that match day 18 being 24. The up and down nature of their performance has really indicated much of that ilk. Mason McCready is down away from the ball. McCready requiring examination. He has been one of the absolute best performers in this early part of the year for Texoma. Already making one excellent save earlier on in the game. This replay is brought to you by Dairyland, and here's what it looked like. Galindres setting it for Bartman, and McCready keeping it square. Backup goalkeeper for Texoma FC, if he is so required, is Javier Garcia. And what a save it was from McCready, who hopefully just needs a stretch. Didn't quite see what happened. It was well away from the action that he went down. Madison a chance to examine the approach early on. Matt Glazer is one of the sharpest minds and one of the stillest pulses in the league in the dugout. Really built this program up and always had the infrastructure. Certainly went about things the right way off the pitch early on in their franchise's history. Maybe a little bit less of the result factor. These fans never wavered. They kept showing up, and Matt Glazer has come in and given them a program that they can really get behind. The results have come in droves, especially in the last year. As we led the broadcast by telling you, this is one of the hardest places to come and win a game in the entirety of USL League One. McCready is back to his feet and will continue for now. Jonak. Foul was awarded. It looked like Madison were intent to maybe play some advantage there. Smart professional foul to stop any forward advance from Teddy Baker. Baker into the team after missing the early part of the season as well. Slammed in over the top. It's a well-aimed ball with it stride for stride, and there to put it out of play. David Mason in there to do the defensive work. Sosa. Jacob Krul at the points. Krul just left it behind the intended target. Nazim Bartman. Valentine. And Brown puts it out for a throw. Off the chest of Osman, who made that a little bit of an awkward working. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit u.s.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, it's the player's choice. Carrera Garcia. Nico Brown, he has pace, he has ideas, and a man in the center, Galindres, was trying to use the first touch to turn away from the defender. Couldn't make it stick forward, Madison. That's a lovely ball, well shaped into Bartman. Now connects with Brown. Nico Brown. Unable to get the better of the defender Valentine. Bartman undeterred. Carrera Garcia spotting the run, a looping effort. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass, but either way, it's easy meat for Mason McCready. Macias was the one who presented the option between lines and went for the devilish delivery. I think he may have been trying to chip in a pass to allow one of his teammates to run on. A stiff header down for Gebhardt. And a forceful shove from behind. This is going to elicit some discussion. We will see to what degree. Again, Drew Klemp is the one who's sorting things out now. One on the side in black and the side in blue. Not much hesitation in giving the foul there. There's much more David Mason who was involved. Cool. And Osmond, a softening first touch from him. Slashing wide is Sosa. A duck and a dive. Carrera Garcia. Krull. Nico Brown sifting forward. Bartman making that skewing run to receive the pass. And right back to Brown. Clockwork stuff from the Mingos, but play is stopped. It's going to be given offside, but an encouraging move from the hold side. Now, Texoma have not gotten into a league match this year beyond the 31st minute, having not conceded. They have not permitted much danger to their goal throughout the course of the game. You can say in many ways the way that they've performed so far would be a contender for one of their strongest performances on the season to date. Sosa spinning like a top and summarily spun out of play. Sosa has already touched the ball 20 times in the first 24 minutes. It's a Madison group that likes to go wide as they move forward. They like to do so in a slower tempo in which that they can position their players to arrive in key spaces in unison, in formation, if you will. Instead of trying to get toward the goal quickly and catch their opponent out. They feel comfortable in their confidence of trying to break teams down when they're packed in, just like this, Texoma. Sosa. Krull. Brown, the full width of the pitch. Bartman, a heroic intervention. Sliding in was J.P. Jordan, but he's lost the ball back. Brown in a dangerous position. Weaving, winding, he's fouled. It's nothing more than a free kick. The combination and connection between Bartman and Brown, breathtaking. As Bartman got the ball back, wound it in toward the area for Brown and giving his best to try and get back involved with J.P. Jordan. Just ran through the man, and it's a dangerous set piece here for forward Madison. Without Devin Boyce, who typically would take these. Looks like Krull and Galindres. Maybe that actually Carrera Garcia. Carrera Garcia hangs too high and out of play. Good look at Jose Carrera Garcia, making his first league start of the year today. He was second in the league last year for chances created, 43 of them in total with Central Valley Fuego. Sosa. Nowhere to go. And wide for Gebhardt. Madison working pretty patterns in the wide spaces. Texoma onto it. But they've let go. And on the run, the Mingos. Bartman. Brown was there. And the foul has been awarded. It's the first caution of the match. Several Texoma players were tracing back there. JP Jordan, who had just been involved in a exchange on the edge of the area moments ago, is booked. He may have gotten the yellow card regardless, but certainly persistent infringement. And Madison salivate over a useful free kick. This is exactly where you would want to have the ball placed if you were to go for goal. Both sides of the target available to you, deep enough in distance to get it up and down over the wall without much extra effort. Will not require the bravest to test the target. Nazim Bartman right into the top of the barricade. And play is stopped. I think the man who put himself in the way of the flight of that shot attempt may be feeling the maleffects. Square onto the forehead. Preston Kilwine not giving an inch, as he will have to come off at least for a moment for examination from the physio. He is all smiles though. All being prepared to be put back in motion. A good time to tell you that soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. There isn't really a bad one in this venue. See the flock ends painting pretty pictures behind the goal of Texoma. Nico Brown, a spectacular first touch, not incisive enough on the delivery. Off the head of Carrera Garcia. Throttled in once more by Carrera Garcia. The ball remains in play. Souza coordinates his approach. A deftly placed delivery into the box. Galindres hammers it across the goal mouth. What's going on here? Play was stopped. I think Galindres had ventured into an offside position. Bear Insurance, a proud sponsor of Forward Madison SC, is based in Madison and has provided protection and peace of mind to business and individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin since 1928. You do the math, that's almost 100 years. That's pretty good. Texoma in unison as they come forth. The ball remains on the field, and only for a simple skip. Final 15 minutes of a cagey but entertaining first half. No breakthrough. Madison have maybe had the better run of the play, but not by much. Texoma had that stint in the attacking half. Since then, though, Madison have really grabbed most of the control, as they've been known to do. Cruel. A bit of a risky outlet. Madison do finally get all the way clear. other side has been able to find that incisiveness, that sharpness in the final third. And that's really been the story. Only 7 combined box touches for each team. Madison in possession of 4, 3 of them for Texoma. Sosa spearing one in behind. McCready is up for it. Of course, that is the man who denied the only real chance of the game thusly. Kilwine. Still Preston Kilwine off to the races. And rocked in behind with pace. On the attack, a spirited tackle to intervene. And foul is awarded. It was Perkins pushing the issue. Looked like it was Mail who provided the defensive bulwark. May have actually been Mitch Osmond over there. And it was. No rust on those legs. Nico Brown in tight confines. Spangler has it now. Spangler's gone to ground. Toppled in the right kind of regions for the side in red and black. Free kick coming. The midnight kit for Texoma FC. It's a sharp number. Those red stripes on the cuff, evocative of the Red River that runs between Texas and Oklahoma, the region of the country Texoma call home. Teddy Baker and Ajmir Spangler. Ajmir Spangler off the wall. Jordan didn't quite check his rear view in time enough, but he gets the ball back and slides one in, only to have it blocked out in the near posts. It will be a corner kick for Texoma FC. First of the match coming here. As supporters hoot and holler without swing. Spangler unable to latch on. Jordan, much of the same. And now it's McCready. Texoma a chance to get their foot on the ball. And it's a direct approach and a throw in. Spangler just put the ball to sleep with the first touch and gets Texoma out on the break. Looping in behind, Joune. Working out his plan, space for a cross! And it cuts dangerously close. Nothing more than a throw. Best look for Texoma tonight. Joune just got Brown to think a little bit too much before getting to the byline and ducked in a delightful ball. Will Perkins unable to provide the finalizing poke at the back post. Anytime the ball gets across the goal mouth, Usually the crosser has done their job. There are a few exceptions, but that is not one of them. That was a very good ball from Lemonjane. Intercepted. Flamingos in flight. Gebhard had to wait up for the ball to arrive at his feet. A bright blue wave rolling toward the target. Cruel. Nico Brown bending toward the byline. The cut back, the cut away. JP Jordan is there. And Shipman reignites the attack. Macias. Gebhard. Time to turn. Time for Bartman. Nico Brown. Brown getting busy. Nodded away at the near stick. A second entry. Madison on to break through it. Will take a third on this move. And kept on. Carrera Garcia. He's got space. Carrera Garcia. Nazim Bartman now. Nazim Bartman picked his corner, just left it wide. A skipping stone out for a goal kick. Madison embark on a retreat to their own ends. Bartman was the one on the business ends. Did not quite conjure the connection that he had imagined in his own mind there. Saw his name up in lights. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches in the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157, new Sirius XM app. The closing stanza in the first frame. Texoma and forward Madison inseparable. See what happened here. McManus, it looked like, just charged through. He's had not much to do today. He will trudge on after a brief examination of his sock. This is the injury report for the two sides. Madison and Texoma not reporting any, but of course a couple key absences for both sides. Those were brought to you by UW Health. No Manjoma, no Devin Boyce for forward Madison. Diego Pepe still waiting to come back for Texoma. Cruel arcing one in. It falls for Bartman. It's thundered away. Jordan Chavez was there, but he has surrendered what looks like a corner kick. Corners are brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management. In by Carrera Garcia. It was a decent ball. And we'll get a second try. Sosa had to think quickly. Gebhardt sees a man in Mail streaming downfield. The center back, Timmy Mail, snaking. Mail locates Gebhardt. Found a nice little pocket of air. Unable to guide the ball in. And it will be a throw. Madison turning up the temperature in the late stages. Is there any difference between these two before halftime? Osmond and Krul. Krul reverses the course. Sosa. Verity Sosa guides the ball in. Just cleared across the goal mouth. Down for Bartman. Play is deadened. The flag has popped up once more. Texoma effectively able to catch Madison in behind a couple times. Smacked out by McCready. Slanted in toward the corner. John A will give it a little bit of a pursuit as the ball is burst to the other end. Madison finally latch on. And Justin saying that the ball strays away. Waiting now on the board to go up. A skyscraping switch. Johnny will keep it on. Lovely first touch from him. Jordan and Valentine. Bit of an aimless ball in behind. It's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Plenty enough for either of these sides to make use of. Jordan. Gebhardt. Texoma backing off. That was just a rugby tackle from Valentine. Sosa with industry and swerving skill. Sosa can't break clear. It's out for another corner kick. Carrera Garcia will take another swing. An outswinger, it appears, from the canopy corner. Over the head of McCready. He's hit the deck. McCready, sharp instincts to re-involve himself and catch it. And catch the contact as well. Held on through it all. turned in over the top. Second ball won by Jone. And Guerrero Garcia left a little bit too much leg out. Teddy Baker taking the blow. An impish little ball in for JP Jordan, who gets pushed into the ad boards. Less than friendly exchanges here at the end of the frame as JP Jordan went tumbling. Brandon McManus was there to quickly get behind his teammate. Verity Sosa was the one tangled. Referee does a good job there, Drew Klemp, of turning down the heat ahead of halftime. No reason for nonsense as that ball trickles into the goal of forward Madison. Really the closest has come all day to puncturing the Madison defense. Away by Shipman. That brings an end to proceedings. 0-0, 0-0 between forward Madison and Texoma FC. At the break, 45 minutes came and went. Madison in search for an answer to this Texoma defense that's held resilient so far. Adrian Forbes has to be happy with how that portion of play has gone on. Madison with a couple chances, but nothing sturdy enough to make a mark. And it is scoreless at the curtain fall. Halftime coverage coming to you when we come back. Again, 0-0 between forward Madison and Texoma FC at halftime.
Tomorrow, we've been expecting you. At TrueStage, we've been preparing for tomorrow for almost a century, helping businesses give their customers, members, and clients what they need to move forward with confidence. Because for us, the future brings possibility, protection, innovation, growth. With financial solutions across insurance, investments, and technology, the people you serve can take on tomorrow, today. So what are you waiting for? Tomorrow, here we come.
It's an S.
Oh, not bad.
My name is John Murphy.
Pausani Ferry Sosa. Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Ta, 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 ta. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground out. Justice from the ground out.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
The side with the sash has been unable to discover any separation against a stingy Texoma FC so far. 0-0 at the break here in Wisconsin. We will take a look at the team of the week from this most recent match week 6, and a couple players here made an impact against Texoma FC the last time out. Siobhan John Brown, Derek Waldeck, both scoring in that match last weekend against the visitors today. Timmy Mail back in the team of the week for this previous round of games. Brian Kleinman of AV Alta is the manager of the week, doing a great job there in Antelope Valley. Jimmy Villalobos was spectacular in that match. He is the player of the week in the USL League One. We've got more coming in this halftime portion for you. The goal of the week, the save of the week, absolutely. But a closer look at those fresh new Madison home strips. Folks, stick around for that.
Flicking it behind, it's clever to Cruz. Back in! What a finish that is! A scintillating team goal for AV Alta, and they're level inside 15.
Here, Camarney Smith waiting in the gap. That's where it goes. Camarney Smith! What a save by Rankenberg!
Stepped up when he's needed to tonight.
They come from everywhere. Supporters who know the thrill of victory. Their hearts beat for clubs across the globe, but there's a different kind of passion that's calling them back. These dedicated fans are returning to stand together, to cheer as one. It's time to come home.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Da, 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 da. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground out. Justice from the ground out.
Goalless at the break. They wait with bated breath here. Decided. Sky blue and pink. Unmistakable. Forward Madison. And Texoma FC. 0-0 right now in the news and notes. Some entertaining nuggets from across the league. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is in full swing. AV Alta and Chattanooga Red Wolves are the lone remaining sides, alongside with Union Omaha that have advanced to the round of 32, punching up at some of the biggest clubs in the country in that competition. And what's going on in Boise deserves some attention. 2,500 ticket deposits already in their first week since announcing big things coming in Idaho for professional soccer. And we're all buzzing about the USL Jägermeister Cup, first round of that expanded tournament in its new format, including all USL teams, Championship and League One. Kicks off here at the end of the month this next weekend. That'll be on ESPN Plus for you. Excited to bring that your direction here in the coming week. As for the upcoming schedule around the USL League One, getting a look here, and for forward Madison, it will be Indy 11 next in that Open Cup, rather the Jaeger Cup, I should say, with Union Omaha and One Knox on the road following that, and then at Westchester before heading out and defending the home ground with Portland Hearts of Pine, the next game on the schedule there at the end of the month of May. And then for Texoma FC, here's what's on the docket for the side from the Lone Star State. They'll have a Clash Copa Tejas action, in fact, against El Paso Locomotive here to end the month of April. And then Charlotte Independence is next for them in the league to start the month of May before heading away to AV Alta. Then Greenville Triumph and Richmond Kickers, two members of the old guard, against a new team in the USL League One to round out play in this patch and portion of the campaign. The standings so far in the League One, and a clash of the top two teams. FC Naples taking on One Knoxville. The last two unbeatens in swing tonight. One of those teams might be walking out with a blemishless record at the end of that one, and clearance at the top of the league. Naples, what a story they have been so far. They hope to continue it. I believe they're down 1-0 at the intermission at home against One Knox in that one. We step aside when we come back. Live pictures in Wisconsin for Madison and Texoma SC. Let's find out if there's a winner in this one, shall we?
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
My name is John Murphy. Pazani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Ta, 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 ta. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Filing back in, the flock ends, and those among them, Flamingos, scoreless with Texoma FC, the Birds, up from Texas here in this one through the first 45. Let's take a look back at those highlights of how that first half went. The bell, just a warning shot though. And then a couple moments later, it would be Madison right back to the front foot as Carrera Garcia spun himself free, and then Nazim Bartman just unable to provide that final bit of quality in the face of goal. And the stats that illustrate what you just saw. No shots on target yet for Texoma. They've risen the heart rate a couple times, but again, unable to really sink their teeth into any moment of you might say, meaningfulness for Madison. They've had the shots, 6 of them, only 2 of them on target though, and doing what they do, dominating with possession, controlling the game, taking the life out of it a little bit. Can Texoma bite back in this next 45 and get their first victory as a professional club? That is the question to be answered here as the teams take back to the field. Juan Colindres was at the heart of a couple of key advances for forward Madison. Those halftime stats were brought to you by Rhyme. Madison looking to find the rhyme and rhythm in this second frame. Beneath setting sun, long shadows cast now here in Madtown. Again, Peyton Gallagher here, happy to be alongside for the ride. The club with bubblegum colors and the new kids on the block, knocking knuckles in the USL League One. And it's been a test of resolve and focus. Who will flinch? Every 3 points counts. Madison has yet to harvest many. Texoma has yet to harvest any. A splendid set here on this Saturday. And away we go. See how both of these managers may have tweaked the approach. Any words of wisdom that might lift their sides in the first couple of minutes here. The flag has popped up. Timmy Mail. Texoma were hot in their pressing efforts early on. They backed off it, at least for now. A scouting pass behind the back line of Texoma. Not taking any chances and hit onto the avenue behind the stadium. The overlap, the ball in. And it breaks the line and out for a goal kick. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day. CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete TV listings. And topping one over the target was Lemon Johnny. In his imagination, maybe saw himself on SportsCenter as he shaped to shoot. In some venues, and this is true all around the game, at the very highest levels even, you can see the atmosphere slacken a bit straight out of halftime. That not the case for Madison fans in full voice out of the intermission. Turn out of play there by Will Perkins. Perkins bringing his championship expertise last year with Union Omaha. Reigning crown holders in the USL League One, as there is a man down. It's Nazim Bartman. Club's third leading scorer last season, making his first start in league play today. Bartman is also the holder of the best chance of the game so far. Was able to put it in the back of the net 5 times a year ago. He got a great chance to open his tab in 2025, only to be denied by Mason McCready. That's sniffed out by JP Jordan. And a tiny turn from Teddy Baker. Jordan taking a little bit too much time on the ball, and he's outfoxed by Bartman. But Bartman has committed a foul. If you look at the action areas separating the pitch into third so far, it really just goes to show exactly how deadlocked this has been. About 47% of the play taking place in the middle third. Usually it's more likely to be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 type of split. Texoma have had the ball in their third of the field a little bit more than forward Madison. As this ball is lifted in across the 18-yard box and sent away. Spangler takes it down. John A. with bright ideas. Shuffled back in. Spangler! Shipman was never going to wince there, as he stops that action in his tracks. Chance to check in on the keys to the game here, as Madison and Texoma continue to scrap in this one. Madison have done a good job of doing the key thing for them, which is controlling the territory, controlling the game with the ball. And they've avoided the costly giveaways that have really harmed them in recent weeks and led to a couple of key goals. These keys are brought to you by UBS. For Texoma, the transition defending has been a real problem all year long, but they've really stood out in that department today, blunting a couple of Madison approaches just as they got into the final third. Been organized in that phase, which has been a difficulty for Texoma so far. Jonah again leading the raiding party out on the advance. And squeezing wide, Perkins trying to hop on the horse. Nobody's catching up to that. Perkins is grabbing at his hamstring. Burn Shipman dicing with danger there. Just about comes off. Slashing into Sosa. Madison in their regular metronomic flight. Carrera Garcia uncontested. Sosa closing in. Speeding one into Bartman, who's quickly corralled in the corner. And there to apply the broom was Perkins. McManus had a whiff. Gebhardt. Brown getting in gear and getting right to the end line. Coasting to the opposite side of the box. Sosa! Not sure the technique really was his best friend there. Came off the outside of his ankle and just flew all the way from the target. Madison, though, connecting the dots well to approximate that move. At least drawing some raising of the tension. Taken down by McManus. Unable to get the engine going. Gebhardt in more central spaces now. Derek Gebhardt. Nazim Bartman. Carrera Garcia picks his pass at Sosa. Sosa gets it back and gets it wide. Nico Brown saved by Mason McCready. A wrought iron piece of goalkeeping from the Texoma netminder. Heads it off in the near post. Nico Brown was able to arrive at the ball with plenty of time to pick his head up. McCready, a whiplashing reaction, put it in behind the stands, and it's a corner kick. Taken quickly. Carrera Garcia! Just tapered off. A touch too tall. You have to applaud the effort. As soon as he saw the space he was arriving in, immediately started to shorten his stride so he could wind up for the hit. This is where we start to check back in on the pulse of the game, how these managers might shift the equation. The substitutions will be a keen talking point. Sosa in the here and now, though. Swerving up to the back post, Galindrez was able to make a clean connection, but nothing too troublesome for Mason McCready. Already, though, it's much more tooth and fang from forward Madison in these first 10 minutes. Snatched back by Bartman. Jose Carrera Garcia. Driven wide for Bartman. Sosa is a release valve if he chooses to go there, and he does. Macias. Madison architecting away. Jose Carrera Garcia growing more and more involved by the passing turn of the clock. Finally, the rhythm interrupted by Texoma. Galindrez dropping in. Just stepped on the ball, but gains it right back. Pops out for Brown, who pushes down line for Gebhardt. Options in the area. Angled in for Bartman. Referee did a good job of getting out of the way. Half-hearted shot is blocked. We already told you in the build-up to the game that Texoma have conceded the most second-half goals of anybody in the league, having allowed 8 over the course of their 4 games. Brown trying to tack on another. Nico Brown was unable to dust by Valentine. And it's another corner kick, it appears. Canopy Wealth Management is donating $50 to Forward Madison's mini pitch fundraising project for each home corner taken by FMFC. And it's been a procession of them in this early phase of play in the second half. Jose Carrera Garcia trying to crack the equation. It was a decent ball, just swooped in right at the last moment. It's returned right back to him. Carrera Garcia. Spangler away. Skewing out for Perkins. And Spangler, and the slowing of the movements as JP Jordan is clattered into, and foul is quickly ushered in. Haven't seen much stoppage in the action this first couple of minutes in the second half. JP Jordan has been bumped and bruised, involved in plenty of contact, and that is a harsh collision. Jordan just never saw him coming, didn't get a chance to brace. You get a sense of why Adrian Forbes feels so highly about the young man, JP Jordan, coming out of the University of Louisville. A player that's really surprised this whole organization with exactly how much he has contributed straight away. A guy that they feel like they can really build around going forward. Embodies a lot of the core tenets of what they're trying to build on a grassroots level for Texoma. A crushing tackle from Spangler. Brought back under control by forward Madison by way of Jose Carrera Garcia. Nodded back to McCready. Madison, a side that likes to rotate. Matt Glazer was quick to proclaim to us in the build-up to this game that he thinks that his side should be amongst the top of the league in terms of substitution year in, year out. They build the roster with that intention. Seen plenty of players moved in and out of the lineup for today's game. They will usually use 4 or 5 substitutions per game. That's not been a luxury afforded to Texoma so far. Could be a chief culprit as to why they've been so breachable in the second half of games this season. Ball scooped in. Galindres is going to get there, but not ahead of McCready. Texoma have only made the 11 substitutions on the year through their first 4 games, the lowest number in the league. McManus has a whack. There was a man on the ground, and now there's a coming together. McManus has struggled for involvement throughout the game, and maybe some of that frustration bubbling up as Osmond put himself on top of the ball. And it's going to be a yellow card. Looks like to Mitch Osmond, as he just threw himself at the ball. Did a good job to get the hands out of the way, but not much else. Can't say I've ever seen that before. McManus, just to finish out that thought, has only touched the ball 7 times this game. Starving, allowing some of that frustration to lapse. His team has won a free kick, though, as it looks like the Texoma side is preparing a couple of substitutions. In by Baker, out by Madison, back in by Jordan. This time done away with by Nico Brown. Gebhardt striking out. Derek Gebhardt, a heavy touch, and it hurls out of play. Madison have had 28 clean sheets since Matt Glazer took over at the helm of this program. It is the most in the USL League One in that time frame. They're on track for another. They'd like to make it all 3 points if they can breach their opponent here. Nico Brown wrapping in. Nico Brown, ball over that Bartman, falling for Sosa. Galindres was lying in wait, but able to get there in time enough for the tackle with JP Jordan, who's touched every blade of grass today. Galindres senses the inertia behind his side. Not sure if Sosa meant to cut that back, but it fell right at the feet of Galindres. Faster to react was JP Jordan. It's another corner kick. Jose Carrera Garcia moonshots a ball in, and it's an easy claim for Mason McCready. Without pause, the man of the match so far for Texoma has been their goalkeeper. Maybe closely there, followed by JP Jordan. Perkins taking off his feet. And that's going to be a caution as well. So in the last 5 minutes or so, we've seen 2 members of that back 3 for forward Madison have their name taken. Timmy Mail, the most recent, Mitch Osmond was the one who went in before. It's another real chance for Texoma from a dead ball. This is the real test for Burn Shipman as he knocks off some of the rust after being out to start the year. How well do you control your area, stepping back into live play for the first time? It looks like Brian Padilla is set to check on, as well as Ozzy Ramos, who made 7 appearances in his career for forward Madison, a return to his former home ground. Ramos has started 2 games this year, but he will have to wait for a second to come on and now replaces Teddy Baker. Padilla making his 2nd appearance of the season in league play. Initially signed at the start of this month on a 25-day contract, trying to cut his teeth and prove himself. He won't get the opportunity here, though. Rambling out of the back. Macias. Still Macias, a wonder run, but left it shy of Sosa. Gebhard tilting himself free. He's cut down from behind. It's going to be an instant yellow card. That might be worth a look under the hood to see exactly what kind of contact David Mason put in. You see Gebhard able to turn himself free. Mason is grabbing hold and just takes a stab out. Matt Gebhard, unfortunate that that was not worse. If Mason had stayed with his hand on the cloth and had been dragging back on the back of Gebhard's jersey, that could have been a way more gruesome injury. All that said, Gebhard doing all he could to get free. Mason doing a nice job as well to not allow his tackle to travel up the leg. That's how we see real injuries take place, as a change is being made. Damia Villader, recently signed, is being introduced, a distinguished professional at the USL Championship level. Sacramento Republic, where he made most of his name. He's a player that Matt Glazer has familiarity with, having worked in that Sacramento Republic system, a guy that can play wide, can play in advanced positions. They like his flexibility. They like his fine-tuned quality in the final third, as he starts to provide some now. That's an incisive ball. McCready able to meet it and then stumble away from the approach of the oncoming Galindres to end the move. If McCready takes any kind of hesitant step to meet that ball, Galindres probably finds himself on the end of it. Another save in the scrapbook of Mason McCready. Fluttering into Carrera Garcia, who boots it overhead. The second ball, it belongs to Perkins. Perkins! Now Ajmir Spangler, both shots are blocked. Gebhard and Galindres, and just crowded off the ball. A collision there on the far flank, play allowed to continue. Texoma foraying into the attacking half for the first time really in this first couple of moments. They've had a couple free kicks, no extended bounce of possession, and this particular advance comes to an end here. hit smoothly on a play. Villadere unable to get into fifth gear, and it's another throw-in for Texoma. 70 minutes in, and still preserving their what would be first clean sheet as a club. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Of course, Forward Madison will see one of those championship clubs in the not-so-distant future, as will Texoma in the Jaeger Cup. For Texoma, the draw is El Paso Locomotive. It's Indy 11 who makes the trip to play Forward Madison in Jaeger. That's coming up this next weekend. Jose Carrera Garcia takes it out of the air. Villadere just losing the footing there. The Texoma defender, and a foul is awarded. That was Kilwine who absorbed the contact. So Juan Glindrez will strut back to his spot. A little saunter. Glindrez, a player who has never lacked flair, found himself on the SportsCenter top 10 last year, and there is a man down. It's David Mason, who's already sitting on a booking and now requiring some medical attention. Texoma have already made the 2 changes. They've not made more than 3 in any game this year. We'll see what Adrian Forbes decides to do, as David Mason again is the one being examined. A starter in all 4 previous games for Texoma. It's a group that have shown a couple of moments of spark in Forward Madison. Unable to set ablaze to this Texoma defense, though. This has been a professional performance for the Birds. And it looks like David Mason is going to be unable to continue. Maciek Bortniczak, just brought into the fold, will make his debut for Texoma right now in a big spot, trying to power his team on to victory. It could be a famous debut in this club's early history if he can make an impact. And it will be a corner kick coming. Texoma turn their attention towards what could be a go-ahead goal. Ozzy Ramos, the former Mingo, with outswing. With venom and with strong conviction in face of the delivery was Forward Madison. A second ball now, headed on, headed in. Texoma take flight and take the lead. Texoma, that's what it takes. Learning how to win in real time. Brian Padilla provides punctuation. Make no mistake, an exclamation mark on a fine-tuned ball into the box. And on a home patch that rarely turns purple for visiting sides, Texoma have a chance to secure all 3 points on the road. Now, what is their nerve made of? These baby birds with wide wings and wide smiles. That goal is brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. It's Madison now trying to cause damage though. You will see Texoma sit deep and grab hold of this with white knuckles. Slid in, just away from Villadere. "15 minutes for forward Madison. It's a whole new game now. Coasted into the box, flicked on. McCready holds firm again. McCready already on 4 saves for the game. He's among the top of the league in that department so far, coming into today. Another whistle, sharp and shrill as Madison get back in motion. It's Padilla that's really leading the line. McManus coming off, Padilla replacing him. He's the one who got the goal. Villadere, Damia Villadere, muscling along toward the end line. And Padilla is able to draw the foul. Osman must be a bit cautious. He's already sitting on a yellow. Of those remaining on the field that have been booked, it is Osman and Mail for forward Madison. We saw JP Jordan get his name taken early on. Jone and Spengler combining. And all of a sudden, the swashbuckling side is Texoma. Into the vacated space behind that back three of forward Madison. If you're going to lose the ball right now for Texoma FC, it's better to lose it long like that. Allow yourself to get back behind it. You have to imagine that forward Madison will look in toward their bench at some point soon to try and change the equation a bit. Change that's been made. Damia Villadere coming on, replacing Ferretti Souza. Into the box, McCready quickly there to snuff it out. McCready taking every precious second and every fiber of his leg muscle into the ball. And some changes to be made. So forward Madison do look into the dugout to try and find an answer. Chris Garcia as well as Michael Chilaka coming on. Timmy Mail will be the one, it appears, to make way. And there is confirmation. 1-5 comes out, another 5 comes on. Angelo Calfo on to provide some defensive stability at the back for Texoma to defend what they've earned. Lemon Jone, who's maybe been the best attacking outlet so far for Texoma, will exit. Mail comes off. That's a sensible change. Shalaka, seasoned veteran as well. Quality player at center back. Mail already on the booking. The last thing you want to have happen is to go down to 10 men. Well, it looked like Mail was coming off. His name was shown on the board, and now he seems to be hesitant about the whole thing. And it's Osmond instead, who's also on a yellow card and also coming back from injury. He only played the 60 minutes against Charlotte Independence today. He goes 80. Forward Madison, reverse course. How does that shuffle up the back line? Chalaka is central. That seems like the most sensible way to go about things. Lemon Jone, this is a bit of subtext and only semantic, but he also got a yellow card for taking his time to get off the field. That only accounts for anything if by the end of the year there's an accumulation suspension, but all for the bookkeeper. So it actually looks like early on Chalaka will set up on the left of that back three. Now Cool retreats and Chalaka takes up residency in the middle. Garcia, decorated player at the championship level, was also brought on there. Was able to ply his trade with El Paso Locomotive for many years. Spread into Garcia now. The blonde-haired boy back in for Mail, and looks like Carrera Garcia and Chris Garcia and Mail again. Charting a course into the area, Galindrez leaning back the whole way. He's had opportunity, Juan Galindrez. He's starting to grow frustrated. JP Jordan still giving it a good chase, and for his efforts he wins the ball. JP Jordan jarring it wide to Padilla. Padilla twisting and tangling the tiki-taka, unable to break through. Madison looked to take advantage on the break. Galindrez is just chopped away from the ball. Gebhardt and Mail. And Chris Garcia rounding in towards the box. It takes a skip off of Perkins. Not cleared. Mail, or rather that Cruel, that's blocked as well. The Bluebirds are out. Some around the ground thought it might have been a penalty shout. Certainly looked like the Texoma defender arrived at the ball before any attacking player took a swing. And this swing's out of play. Texoma straining towards the final steps toward the finish line. They've never kept a clean sheet as a professional club in these first 5 games in League and Cup. That was likely to be required today if they were to get out of here with a result, and that certainly looks that way right now. queuing for another throw. Again, heading into today, had not made it Texoma more than 31 minutes into a game without conceding. They've gone over double that so far. They are a little less than 6 minutes plus stoppage time from getting across the line with all 3 points in hand against a side that found themselves in the league semifinal last year in Forward Madison. Padilla has been booked. And if that is the trade-off for what could be a game-winning goal, that's a trade you take every time. Down the line, Kroll. Long into the area, over the head of Galindrez, Kilwine. He's able to just corral it away. And Perkins flushes to the other end. Into the wide space. Pulls once more by Texoma. Look at how hard they're running now. Space never tighter in this game for Forward Madison on the ball. Chalaka shifting all the way wide. Crossed in. Once more marked out at the near post, this time by Valentine. Another ball, McCready took a step to it. Had to trust his defense to usher it away, and they do. Corner to defense. In and out. And it's another corner. This will be the 10th of the match for Forward Madison. More, it's hooked out of the box. Macias unable to pick it up. A nifty little back heel, but Macias had not read that script. Two more changes. Adrian Graffin, who's dealt with injury this year, will come on in the clutch moment. Day done for Macias. Juan Galindrez will also exit. John Murphy Jr. will replace him. A tiny and technical midfielder. Clashes and jousts all up and down that far flank, and foul is finally awarded. Chested down, Garcia. Nico Brown linking up. Nico Brown, Jose Carrera Garcia. Murphy. Sloping in, Chris Garcia. Kilwine wins the race. It's a goal kick. And it's much more than that. And it actually will be given offside, it appears. Killwine didn't know that. Texoma have only put 2 shots on target. They made one of them count. Madison have had their chances, unable to make good. And now they have whatever is left beyond the 90 in all certainty to save themselves. See how heavy-handed the 4th official is, as trying to speed around the edge there. There was some contact, and it looks like there might just be a foul called. Mail has already been booked. He might be fortunate to escape. Nothing too malicious in the tackle itself. The main point in saying there is that it looked like the attacking player, if he had been able to gain purchase of the ball, may have been in behind, uncontested, and that may have stopped a promising attack. Not a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. There's not much use in litigating the pass. Decision is final. It was the debutant Botnichuk who was brought down. And we are into 6 minutes of stoppage time now. I'm not quite sure what discourse is still being had with Drew Clapp and whoever is in the bench area. It appears a red card has been shown to someone. And based on the area of the engagement, it may have been in the Texoma dugout. Don't have confirmation of that. That will not impact what's taking place in between the white lines now for the next 6 minutes. And to be sure, it will be 6 minutes. The clock will not have started while that was all untangled there. Wedged in toward the corner. See if that stop and play maybe breaks the focus a little bit for Texoma. Trying to regain their composure and get across the finish line. Madison without the creative prowess of Devin Boyce. Their leader in assists on the year, Garrett McLaughlin, who's typically the number 9, also not in the team today. They have felt those absences in a big way. They have marched and marched and marched time again to the doorstep and been unable to break through. Gebhardt. McCready. Madison fans making sure to remind the goalkeeper of the fact that he only has 8 seconds to get rid of the ball. And he does. Texoma moving defensively in unison as they retreat to their own end again, absorbing wave after wave of Flamingo pressure. Nico Brown. Thoughts of a cross. Cool defers. Rambling in towards the area, falls for Brown. JP Jordan's there, there's a twist up, and it's shrugged off. Feet tangled in a moment of frenzy inside the area, and it will be nothing more than a goal kick and some scrutiny from the forward Madison fans. Certainly looked incidental contacts. JP Jordan, I'm not sure if there was any contact. He is, for as much worth as the Padilla goal certainly has, been the best outfield player without pause today for Texoma, doing all the dirty work and doing so with a smile. Long strides out of the back for Timmy Mail. Gebhardt. It tips off the toes of Mail, who does contain it. Chalaka struggles for a second. Viadair. Screaming downfield. Into the box! Tapped on! And it's crossed the line! Derek Gebhardt defiant at the death. And forward Madison. Stave off defeats at the last. It was a searching ball just waiting to be put in. Tapped along, Gebhardt was able to attach himself to the ricochet and rifle it in. And forward Madison may have just salvaged the point. Texoma crestfallen as it looked like they were surging toward victory. How the table turns so quickly. Derek Gebhardt makes his third goal on the year, an important one. That goal is brought to you by Dairylands. Forward Madison looking to bring more. In by Garcia. Cued out. Texoma look a little bit punch drunk right now. Back into the box. Back out of the box. Now mind you, the first minute of stoppage time, the ball was not in play as some disciplinary proceedings were being had in the Texoma dugout. So there should be more beyond the 6 minutes allotted. On the turn. And still driving forward, forcing defenders to commit. Now Chris Garcia, a lovely sculpted cross. It just skids free and it's stepped away. It took a skip right in front of McCready and he couldn't handle. And it's another corner kick. The Mingos are thinking brightly now. Is there a winner in this for them? McCready, the knuckle applied. Crushed to the other end. There's a whole volley of whistles. As the referee stopped play, but not three. Maybe one last gasp in the tie. High overhead. The ends. Texoma had it, and it slipped away. It was taken away by forward Madison, but still, the first results in Texoma SC history, their first points, are hard-earned on the road. Texoma and forward Madison split them after 90 and then some. Man of the match is Derek Gebhardt. Took little guesswork. The one who donned the cape in the final stanza and saved the day. He gets the goal. He is the man of the match presented by Festival Foods. And it was a full feast of action here today in Wisconsin. Full match highlights here in the play of the match presented once more by Dairyland Insurance. And again, you're not taking much time to conjure exactly the thought and memory of the moment that was that of the match. Gebhardt puts it in with some assistance from Mason McCready. And that is what pops the bubble of Texoma FC, who should still hold their heads high, securing the result on the road. We will digest everything when we come back from the break. Again, at the final bell for Madison and Texoma FC inseparable.
It's an S.
My name is John Murphy.
Pazani Ferry Sosa. Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground out. Justice from the ground out.
Tomorrow, we've been expecting you. At TrueStage, we've been preparing for tomorrow for almost a century, helping businesses give their customers, members, and clients what they need to move forward with confidence. Because for us, the future brings possibility, protection, innovation, growth. With financial solutions across insurance, investments, and technology, the people you serve can take on tomorrow, today. So what are you waiting for? Tomorrow, here we come.
A palpitating appetizer for the season to come, and for Madison's league home debut, they save it just inside the bounds of time to play. 1-1, the 95th minute. Derek Gebhard sees to it that the teams split the points, and here's how we got there. Forward Madison and Texoma FC. Again, Texoma in pursuit of their first ever victory as a club. It ends up being their first ever points. Full-time highlights are brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. And energized in the moment was Brian Padilla, who rose the highest and really didn't have to do much. That ball was put right on his forehead. Burned Shipman at his mercy. Not mincing words was Padilla, who put his side in front, and they held hold of the rope for most of what was required. It just was not all of it. Back across the box, it was a strong and stiff header into a dangerous area, and McCready was unable to get it all the way away as he watched the ball go onto the woodwork and straight onto the foot of Gebhard, who used him as a backboard to play it in to the back of the net. And it was coming for Madison. 6 shots on target. They generated a lot. That was the look that ended up puncturing the opponent, but really felt like they were good for the goal that they got. Texoma were clinical. They took advantage of their chance, and they are able to, again, get their first draw as a professional organization. These full-time stats are brought to you by Rhyme. Madison is able to hold their nerve at the last, keep composure, and gets a singular points. Texoma looked competitive, they looked feisty, but one of the league's best was good enough on the day to see that they were not to be defeated. For our entire cast and crew here, I've been Peyton Gallagher, and folks, we will talk to you soon. The USL League One season rolls on.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.